Psalm 29 verse 4 and 5. New International Version. The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is majestic. The voice of the Lord breaks the cedars. The Lord breaks in pieces the cedars of Lebanon. The voice of the Lord rolls across the heavens like a deep, resonant song, full of life and strength. It is not a quiet whisper lost in the wind, but a vibrant, living sound that fills every corner of creation. It carries with it a sense of purpose, of joy, of unstoppable energy. When the Lord speaks, the world listens. Not out of fear alone, but out of recognition, as if all things know this voice as their origin. His voice is powerful beyond anything the human mind can fully grasp. It is the kind of power that shapes mountains, stirs oceans, and breathes life into the smallest living things. Yet within that power is a kind of brightness, a gladness, like the sound of laughter woven into thunder. It is majestic not only because it is strong, but because it is full, complete, and overflowing with meaning. The voice of the Lord does not strain or struggle. It moves effortlessly, like a great wave that rises and falls exactly as it intends. It carries authority without harshness, strength without cruelty. It is the sound of a creator who delights in what he has made, who speaks not just to command, but to express a deep and abiding joy in creation itself. When this voice reaches the forests, even the mightiest trees cannot stand unchanged. The cedars of Lebanon, known for their towering height and ancient strength, tremble under its presence. These trees, which have stood for generations, rooted deep in the earth, are not immune to the touch of divine power. And yet, this breaking is not meaningless destruction. It is transformation. The Lord breaks the cedars not out of anger alone, but as part of a greater rhythm of renewal. Just as storms clear the sky and make way for new growth, so too does his power reshape the world. What seems like breaking is often the beginning of something new. Space made for light, for growth, for life to continue in a different form. In this way, his voice is both strong and life-giving. It carries the energy of a storm and the warmth of sunlight after the rain. It reminds all creation that nothing is fixed forever, and that even the strongest things can be remade under his care. There is a kind of joy in this power, a deep, steady happiness that does not fade. It is the joy of a creator fully alive, fully present, fully engaged with the world. When he speaks, it is not with hesitation or doubt, but with confidence and delight. His voice celebrates existence even as it reshapes it. The forests may shake, the mountains may echo, and the strongest trees may fall, but beneath it all is a sense of order and intention. His voice is not chaos. It is music. It is the sound of a world being continually formed, sustained, and renewed. And those who listen closely might hear not only the strength in that voice, but also its warmth. For the same voice that can shatter the cedars is also the one that brings life, that calls forth growth, that fills the earth with beauty. It is a voice that holds both power and joy, both majesty and kindness. So when the voice of the Lord moves across the world, it is not only a display of might. It is a reminder that all things are held within something greater. A reminder that even in moments of upheaval, there is purpose. And within that purpose, there is a quiet, steady happiness. A divine contentment that echoes through creation itself. And still the voice continues, not fading after a single moment, but unfolding like an endless horizon. It moves across seas that rise and fall in answer, their waves lifting as if reaching toward the sound that called them into being. The waters do not resist, they respond, reflecting both the strength and the serenity of the one who speaks. Lightning may flash as a companion to that voice, not as a sign of anger alone, but as illumination. Brief, brilliant glimpses of the power that sustains everything. Thunder follows, not empty and chaotic, but rhythmic, like a heartbeat woven into the sky. Together, they form a kind of language, one that creation understands even when human words fall short. In distant valleys, the echo of his voice softens into something almost gentle. It brushes across fields and rivers, stirring grasses and bending reeds. Here, the same voice that breaks cedars also nurtures quiet life. It coaxes seeds from the soil, calls blossoms to open, and paints the land with color and motion. This is the fullness of his happiness, not a shallow or fleeting emotion, but a deep and enduring joy that expresses itself in many ways. In power, it is overwhelming. In stillness, it is comforting. In change, it is purposeful. And in all things it remains constant. Even the breaking of the cedars carries a hidden kindness. For what falls returns to the earth, enriching it, preparing it for what will come next. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is outside the reach of his renewing voice. The fallen tree becomes soil, the soil gives rise to new life, and the cycle continues, guided by a wisdom that is both strong and joyful. There is no corner of creation untouched by this voice. From the highest peaks to the deepest roots, from the roaring storm to the quiet breath of dawn, everything exists within its reach. And everywhere it goes, it leaves behind a trace of that same divine happiness. A sense that life, in all its forms, is upheld with intention and care. Those who pause long enough to listen may begin to notice it, not just in grand displays of power, but in small, steady rhythms. In the rustling of leaves, in the flow of water, in the distant roll of thunder that fades into calm. Each of these carries an echo, a reminder that the voice of the Lord is never truly silent. And perhaps this is where its majesty is most deeply felt, not only in what it can do, but in what it chooses to sustain. For the same voice that can shatter forests also holds the world together moment by moment. It is not reckless power, but guided strength. Not distant authority, but present and active care. In this way, the happiness of God is not separate from his power. It is woven into it. His joy is seen in creation's resilience, in its beauty, in its ability to begin again. Every ending shaped by his voice carries within it the seed of a new beginning. So the cedars may fall, and the mountains may echo, and the skies may resound with thunder. But beneath it all is something steady and unshaken. A voice that creates, renews, and delights. A voice that is powerful and majestic, yet filled with a quiet, unending joy that sustains the world. And that voice continues, even now, speaking life into everything that is, was, and will be.